Tribu House by Parnell ALIVEUS architecture in YONGIN-SI, South Korea. Tribu House by Parnell was created with various purposes. It was intended to be a domestic showroom for high-end European furniture as well as a space to be used as a bakery cafe. The client had a requirement that the furniture display not look like a typical furniture store and be naturally integrated into the building and its interior and exterior spaces. Additionally, the client wanted to implement an architectural style that had not been seen before in Korea, with a high degree of completion. One of the main criteria was the client's aesthetic preference for arched windows. To avoid the design looking like a mere imitation of traditional European architecture with classical arched windows, we made an effort to find a design language beyond this. Sometimes architects focus on making a building look like a sculpture. This is because visual beauty is the main element of the building, which can lead to overlooking the consideration for its use. After much consideration, it was decided to reinterpret the curved surfaces of the arch, which was the main request of the client, to satisfy both the functional and aesthetic requirements. Over 80% of the exterior of the building, except for the floors and ceilings, was composed of curved surfaces, attempting a different design approach than the traditional linear architecture. The irregular elements of the building were designed to meet the axis of the straight landscape and create a sense of stability. The collaboration between architecture and landscaping varies depending on the project. From the placement of the basic building and the establishment of a visual axis, the landscape design was taken into account. The showroom's nature extends beyond the interior and is expanded from the indoor to the outdoor spaces, where furniture is arranged in various spaces. In designing the exterior facade, consideration was given to using the building as a background for the outdoor furniture. Expansion of design language, the design keyword, streamlined, which originated from the arches of the windows, extends beyond the building's layout to the roof's streamlined shape and the circular staircase inside. The roof's streamlined shape is a design where a first-order curve on a flat surface and a second-order curve on a curved surface coexist. There were concerns about construction difficulties, but the design element couldn't be abandoned. After much discussion with the construction company, the design was completed. If the external completion of YONGIN-SI was the roof, the internal completion was the staircase design. The internal circular staircase was intended to be the pinnacle element in the design context of the Tribu House by Parnell. They thought about what would happen if every element, except for the treads, wasn't a straight line, and if the usual spiral structure was twisted. As a designer, this approach to design was an opportunity to attempt various types of staircases and was a source of enjoyment. After many tests and discussions, they made the direction of the spiral at the start of the staircase change direction with a point of inflection in the middle. They also placed the railing linearly at the start of the staircase to complete a design that didn't exist before. Building elements with turning points provides people with novelty and aesthetic completion, but using the term point of inflection as an architectural facade element is also a small subjective pleasure that designers can enjoy. This design solution became an element that allowed people to experience the pinnacle of the design context, from within the staircase used for vertical movement. The interior elements were sufficient with the architectural owner's excellent vision and displaying furniture. We were able to accommodate significant design elements while considering many factors and proposed daring design elements such as vintage paint finishes to create an edgy atmosphere. The designer's envisioned image can be realized based on the architecture owner's bold choices and trust. The Tribu House by Parnell hopes to provide architectural fun for visitors and a unique space to enjoy during their stay, which may be difficult to experience elsewhere in Korea. Additionally, as a designer, we hope to continue working on various design approaches following the Tribu House by Parnell project.